Alright, so hi, it's Tiffany. You can tell I'm getting ready to go to dialysis. If I'm late for dialysis today, I really don't care. Because this is more important, at least to me. So I was on Tumblr earlier this morning, just looking around, doing whatever, and I saw somebody mention about that Netflix mockumentary. I refuse to call it a documentary because documentaries generally focus on facts and, actual things that actually happened. And this Netflix shit is based on a lie. Now, I'm warning you now, my language could get kind of heated. And if you have sensitive snowflake ears, this isn't for you. So this is what I'm trying to figure out. You have the Michael Jackson biopic in theaters and about to go to streaming. It is the largest selling film ever. Beyond a musical, beyond a biopic, just out the gate, right at $900 million, right at $1 billion. And it's 2026. Let's keep this in mind. It is the year of our Lord, 2026. And why the fuck would Netflix, whose subscription I canceled, of course, why the fuck would Netflix put out a documentary about the 2005 trial that, mind you, Michael Jackson was cleared, declared innocent, declared not guilty on 10 charges and 4 lesser charges. So 14 charges in total. They tried to stick to him and it bounced off his ass like Teflon. Yeah, so there's that. So you got the same story being dragged up from, 20 odd years ago. A lot of the fans now going to the movie to see the movie weren't even born then, but they want to bring this back up. So this is what I'm trying to figure out, and this is what I've been trying to figure out since June 26th, 2009, the day after Michael Jackson died. Michael Jackson is dead. That is a dead body laying in repose at the cemetery where he is in the mausoleum. I know because I've been there to pay my respects before. Now, you have a dead body. Yet and still, you're still trying to tell this story. You're still trying to do this. What is your end game at this point? Because you literally cannot break into the cemetery, dig up his corpse, and fling it into a jail cell. It's been 20 years. It's probably just skeletonized in a rhinestone coat at this point. There's literally nothing to throw in jail. But let's keep on going. This has been a cash grab. Even preceding this, way back in 1993, when the first lies broke, I refuse to call them allegations. I refuse to call them anything other than what the fuck they are. Lies. You following me? Okay. So this is what I can't understand. And somebody will be like, oh, you're a Michael Jackson fan. You're on his side, blah, blah. Okay. Let's look at when I got into being a Michael Jackson fan. 1995. This was after the 1993 lies broke. I'm a child. I have no job. I have no source of income. Who am I relying on for everything in my life? My parents, my mother and father. Now, if I went to my mother, I said, Mom, I'm interested in this guy named Michael Jackson. Can I get some of his music? Now, if my mother thought that this man was anything other than just a singer or, had done anything, she would not have taken me a week later, because I had to wait till her paycheck come, taken me in her car, driven me, burning her gas to the record store to buy me my very first Michael Jackson tape, if she thought anything was unsavory with him. My father would not have let that happen. My mother spent her hard-earned money to buy me that tape. And every other tape and CD and any other memorabilia I wanted. She didn't buy me a concert ticket because, 1, she thought they were too expensive, and 2, she was afraid of the massive crowds. She thought we would get trampled to death. But other than that, my mom was fully on board and didn't give a shit. You could put posters up. You want a t-shirt with his face on it? Here you go. You want the Michael Jackson dolls? Here you go. My mother would not have invested her money if she thought something was wrong. My father would not have let me be interested in this person, follow this person, and, all of that sort of stuff. Now, my dad did think Michael Jackson was gay because, the makeup, the sequined outfits, but whatever. He just was misinformed on his orientation. But my father did not think that he was this monster that they're trying to create. And this is something else I always love to point out. Michael Jackson is a black man. He was I don't care if he can glow in the fucking dark because of vitiligo. He was a black man. That's what's on his birth certificate. That's what's on his death certificate. Race, black. And you notice all the people who come out the woodwork, it's the same 5 or 6 people, of course, anyway. They're all white. Now, I don't want to play the race card, but I mean, it's kind of shouting in the corner right now how the same people keep showing up. You had opportunity, if you had been scared, in 1993 to come forward, if there was anybody else. You had your opportunity in 2005. You could have come forward. You could have spoken for the prosecution. You could have put Michael in jail. You could have done this. Nobody showed up. Same string of characters. 2026, here we are again. Same carousel of people who have been shown to lie in a different mockumentary, who have already been shown to lie, who have had timelines fucked up, who have been shown to lie, fabricate stuff, been untruthful, however in the hell you want to color it in, that's how it came out. Lies, 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 lies. And the thing is, it's not even professional scholars going and debunking this shit. It is fans like myself putting on our Sherlock caps, digging through Google, digging through all the available, publicly accessible papers and documents and things to say, hey, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. You're a fucking liar. Okay, come back to 2026. These same people are trying to get together who before were friends with Michael Jackson. One worked for Michael Jackson. If this was an abuser and this was somebody who traumatized you so terribly when you were a child, why are you with them as an adult? Why are you with them in your 20s, in your 30s? And then suddenly, all of a sudden, this film is making lots of money. Let me see if I can line my pockets with this. Because here's another thing. I've been a fan for 30 years. I've watched Michael Jackson go from country to country to country to country. And he's meeting children in country to country to country to country. So, why are all the kids white? Why do I not see a black child, an African child? He's been to Africa, he's been to South Africa, because I saw him with Nelson Mandela. Why are there not African kids coming out of mud huts somewhere saying, I was abused? Why are there not Asian kids coming out? Why are there not other kids from other nationalities? Why are they all milk white? And specifically, with the exception of Wade Robson, all American. Why are there not children from England, France, Italy, South Korea, Japan, China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Australia, Micronesia, over there like Tonga and all them other places? It's funny how he was all over the world. There's videos and photographs, so many, thousands, probably tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, of him interacting with children there. And yet and still, if he's supposed to be this terrible monster, this person who could keep his hands to himself, this person who couldn't, control these urges, allegedly, why are there not dozens of children coming forward? Why are there not hundreds of kids coming forward? And also, why would this have also started in the 80s? Because, if the allegations are coming in 1993, it started in the 80s. He's been performing since 1970. So shouldn't there be some people coming from around the Jackson 5 era, which would have been predominantly black people, predominantly black children, because that was really before the Jackson 5 became mainstream and accepted by white America, and they were basically a black group for black kids and teenagers. So where are the kids from like 1972, 1973? Something happened to me, I didn't like it, blah, blah. They don't exist. They don't exist. Because, this is literally round 3. And this is pertinent opportunity for more people to come out, more people to say this, more people to say that. And you know why these people haven't shown up and these people haven't come out the woodwork yet? They don't exist. They do not exist. And it's the same revolving door, like I've titled this video, coming out trying to say, oh, I got more lies, I got more lies, I got more stories, I got more this, I got more that. Okay, if you got more lies and more stories, why didn't we hear that shit in 2005? Why didn't we hear that shit in 1993? Why is it all of a sudden, ooh, you're having an aha moment in 2026? When, mind you, the man has been dead going on 17 years. What will it achieve other than to show you for the greedy, grubby, money-hungry bastards that you are? And it also speaks about the parents. Now, I can tell you this. My father was a no-nonsense type of gentleman. World War II veteran. He didn't play about anything. He didn't play about his wife. He didn't play about his child. So if at any point during my childhood, or even, until he died when I was 28, if I had gone to my father and said, Dad, somebody did something, unsavory to me, there would be no trial. There would be no police called. There would be no, lawful intervention. My father would have simply gotten up, said who, asked who, of course, gotten up, went to his car, which had a pistol under the passenger seat my entire life, gotten that gun and went and blown the guy away and turned them into Swiss cheese. There would have been no, oh, my child was, fiddled with. Let me make some money off of that. Basically, you're missing the entire point of what's going on here. You're so clouded and jaded about Michael Jackson and, listening to the lies and everything. You don't notice that these parents are basically pimping their kids. That if it hadn't been Michael Jackson, of course it would have been somebody else. And no parent is going to say, you assaulted my child, I want money. No, any normal, rational parent would want that person else in jail or on death row. Or go try to kill them like my father would have. So what does that say about the parents? The first thing, if, this is a tremendous if your child had been harmed in the first place, your mind goes to money. Your mind goes to how to line your pockets. Not the safety and well-being of your kid. Not the, let's get this person off the streets before they do this to somebody else. Your first thought is, how can I make money from this? That says volumes about the parents also. And nobody is looking into these people for this extortion. Because that's what the fuck it is. Extortion. Pure and simple. And they just found Michael as an easy target because he was kind and, he had a soft spot for children. And that left a little, hole under the fence for derelicts like the Arvizos and the Chandlers and, the Three Stooges now to come crawling under and try to infect again. But you see, it's not working. Yeah, you have your holdouts, you have your naysayers, but I think the numbers are talking at the movie theater. Because if all these people believed Michael Jackson was this terrible, horrible, horrifying creature, this horrifying person, this predator, they would not be going to the movie theaters over and over and over again, spending their hard-earned money to see this film. They wouldn't. I've been myself 5 times as it is. And if it wasn't for my health, it would be a sixth time this week. But I can't because of my health. But whatever. I've been 5 times. I see people all the time at the movie theaters since this has begun. And I've seen people literally walking out of the theater crying because they understand Michael now. They get Michael now. They had one guy, I was at the theater in Houston, and he come out, this is a grown man, comes out the theater screaming, I love Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is my favorite person in the world. He's my favorite performer. I love Michael Jackson so much. Yada, yada, yada. This is a grown-ass man. You know, possibly in my age bracket, 30s, early 40s. So he would have been a kid at the same time I realistically was a kid. And, I mean, you can tell a lie all you want, but eventually that truth is going to come to light. And it is, and they can't stand it because suddenly you have a whole influx of people going, let me look into this. Let me read about this more. Let me do this. Let me do that. Because I've seen too many testimonies on social media now with people saying, oh, I thought Michael Jackson was this horrible person. And then I started reading into it and started investigating and doing a little bit of research, digging through Google. Find out, oh, all of this is a sham. All of this is a scam. All of these motherfuckers are liars. As they have been and as they shall always be. And that's my 2 cents on it. And I hope wherever they are, they're having a terrible day. Everybody else, have a good day. Bye.